Hello, everyone. I hope your studies are going great. You're doing whatever you need to do. Your targets are on time. Your goals are being achieved. And today I've come here with the discussion of all the questions and answers of the chapter Declaration and Payment of Dividend. So, in this, we are going to cover all the previous year questions, all the RTP questions, all the mock test paper questions. So, let's just get into it. And you know how important solving question anyway is. So, starting with, as I told you, the chapter today that we are going to cover is Declaration and Payment of Dividend. And as I told you, we are going to cover the questions of RTP, the previous year question papers, and mock test papers. If it's a direct question, I'm not going to waste my time on that, basically case studies. The board of directors of Vidyut Limited are contemplating to declare interim dividend in the last week of July 2021, but the company has incurred loss during the current financial year up to the end of June 21. So they want to declare in July 21. Up to June 21, they have suffered a loss. However, it is noted that during the previous 5 financial years, they have declared dividend at the rate of 8, 9, 12, 11, and 10% respectively. Advise the board as to the maximum rate at which they can declare the interim dividend. So, when company has suffered loss up to the immediately preceding quarter in which the interim dividend is declared, the rate of dividend cannot be more than average of the past 3 years. So, past 3 years is what? 10. Past 3 years is what? 10 plus 11 plus 12. So average of this 33 by 3, which is what? 11%. So how much? 11%. Moving on to the next question. Mr. Guru bought 40,000 shares of real consultancy services of face value 10 each of his savings. That means what is the value of my shares? 4 lakh. On such shares, final call of 2 is due, but unpaid by Mr. Guru. So he is liable to pay how much to the company? 80,000. In the meantime, RC has declared dividend at a rate of 15%. So on his shares, 2 rupees is uncalled. So how much has he paid? He has paid 8 rupees per share. That means 3,60,000. 15% of 3,60,000 would be how much? 48,000. Regarding unpaid call by Mr. Guru in the light of dividend due to him from RCS, state which of the following statement is correct. Actually, by the way, if the member of the company does not pay the call amount, can the company adjust this amount against his dividend? Yes. So can we say the dividend of 80,000, 48,000 can be adjusted against the uncalled money only if consent? No, no, we don't need the consent. So B. The dividend can be adjusted against unpaid call amount. The dividend of this is not 64,000. It will be only on the called up value. I mean paid up value, sorry. The board of directors of Vidyut Limited are contemplating to declare dividend. Oh, we have already done this. This was the first question only, no? Yeah, we've already done this. Amount to be transferred to reserves out of the profits before any declaration of dividend is. There is no such fixed rate. It is at the discretion of the company. So at the discretion of the company. When the dividend is declared at the AGM, it is known as AGM is final. By the board of directors, it is interim. So Mitra Healthcare and Hospitality Limited has issued 9% non-convertible debentures which matured 4 years back. However, 1,000 such debentures are still remaining unclaimed and unpaid even after the maturity. State the period after which the company needs to transfer them. Any amount of matured debentures which have not been claimed shall be transferred to Investors' Education and Protection Fund after what? After the expiry of 7 years. So C. This already done. Declared at the AGM done. Amount to be transferred to reserves already done. Perfect Tires and Rubbers Limited is a listed entity engaged in the business of manufacturing of tires and tubes for light and heavy commercial vehicles. During the financial year, the company has declared interim dividend of 5% on the equity shares held on 17th October out of the profits earned in the first quarter. Further, the board of directors of the company, after reviving the results of the fourth quarter, recommended for a second interim dividend at the rate of 5%. The board of directors of the company approved the financial results for the financial year and recommended a final dividend of 15%. The general meeting of the shareholders was convened. The shareholders of the company demanded that since interim dividend was declared by the company, so final dividend should not be less than 20%. And the company had recommended what? 15%. Can it be more? Never. When the company secretary emphasized that final dividend cannot exceed what the board of directors have recommended in their board meeting, some of the shareholders boycotted the meeting and moved out of the meeting hall in protest of the company's decision. However, the agenda for declaration of dividend was passed unanimously by the rest of the shareholders present in the meeting, fulfilling the criteria of requirement of quorum. After approval of the shareholders, the dividend amount was paid to the shareholders. However, dividend to some of the shareholders could not be paid within the prescribed period for a variety of the reasons. The company transferred the unpaid dividend account to a separate bank account on 15th October. The detail of the unpaid amount for the previous years lying in the dividend account is as under. Sustram, one of the investors who is holding 1,000 shares in physical form by visiting website of the company, came to know that company has declared the dividend in some previous years, but have not been paid by him to him. This happened due to the fact the company was not having his current address and bank account details. Sustaram, मतलब उसके account details were only not there. He was actually Sustram only. Perfect to his name. Swastharam approached the company along with all the supporting evidences to his claim and demanded the dividend amount. The company, after being satisfied, मतलब इंसान ना मर ही जाए. Like मैं मर ही जाऊं after reading this question. By the time I reach the question, I'll forget the whole story. The company, after being satisfied, paid all the dividend amount pertaining to the financial year. Is this? However, financial year 12-13, company informed that since the amount of dividend has been transferred to Investors Education and Protection Fund, it cannot be taken back now. Cannot be taken back. No, you can take it. You have to go to Investors Education and Protection Fund. So, when the shareholders demanded for increase in the rate of dividend, but since the shareholders cannot increase what the board of directors have recommended, some of them walked out of the meeting hall. What shall be the consequence? See, what they said, they walked out. But two things were given. First, quorum was still present. Even after they walked out, quorum was still present. Second thing that they said was it was decided unanimously, and that is with the consent of all. So if even after boycott, quorum is present all the time during the course of general meeting, and they have approved with the majority, the rate recommended by the board shall be treated as approved. This looks correct. Members present at the beginning shall remain present all the time. Is it so? No. The point is quorum should be present. The approval of the dividend is an ordinary business resolution of the company. So if some of the members have boycotted the meeting, it will have no effect even if the quorum is not present. No. Doesn't matter ordinary or special. Quorum must be present throughout the meeting. The recommendation of the board of directors of the company relating to the rate of dividend shall stand withdrawn. No. So the answer is what? A. At which date the unpaid dividend account not claimed by the shareholders. So 30 days from declaration plus 7 days. So let's see what was the date of the meeting. 31st August 20 they called a meeting. So 30 days. Okay, 30 days is when? From 31st August. What is 30 days? We don't count 30. We start counting from 1 to 30 is how much? 30th September. And after this, we have how many days? 7 days. So 30th September will not be taken into account. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7th October. So by 7th October, the money should be transferred to separate bank account. So the answer is D. The company transferred the amount of unpaid dividend to a separate bank account on 15th October. What is the interest liability? So they were supposed to send it by when? 7th October. But when did they send it? They sent it on 15th October. So if there is a delay, we have to pay interest. Yes, we have to pay interest at the rate of 12%. So C. Clear? In the given case, when and how much amount the company shall transfer the funds to the Investors Education and Protection Fund. The amount has to be transferred after how many years? 7 years, right? Now, see, it's very evident that this is the answer. So even if you don't calculate, doesn't matter because A, B, C is not the answer. Oh my God, another one. ऐसा लगता है. But you really need to back this 30 marks of your MCQs. Imagine you score a 30 marks in MCQs. My God, the paper gets amazing after that. Waste Papers Limited is a company engaged in the business of collecting waste papers and old newspapers and manufacture from these wastes the corrugated boxes which are used in packing of the products by various suppliers. Company is earning good profit margin and this is the profit, okay? This much dividend they have paid, okay. Now, during the year 22-23, the company's business was severely affected due to low demand of corrugated boxes on account of recession. Situation slowdown prevailing all over the country. The company showed a loss of 20 lakh in the annual accounts. However, the company wants to maintain its image, so it had a loss of 20 lakh. But they want to maintain the image, so they wanted to declare a dividend at the rate of 26%. During the year, Somesh, a shareholder, since there is increasing trend of 2%, so they wanted to declare dividend for the year 22-23. They wanted to declare dividend at the rate of 26%. So when the dividend is declared out of reserves, it cannot be more than average of the past 3 years. During the year, Somesh, a shareholder of the company, died due to cardiac arrest. He was having 10,000 shares in his demat account in which he had made nomination in favor of his son Romesh. When Romesh applied for transmission, his sister Sanjana objected and filed a case in the court that she also has a right to the property of her father and mere making of nomination do not dilute the rights of the legal heirs to claim the share. The matter is sub judice in the court, going on in the court of law, awaiting decision. The company has business dealings with Mahesh Kumar, who is also a shareholder of the company. The company has supplied some goods to Mahesh Kumar worth 10,000, but he was not making the payment of the company. The company, while making payment of the dividend to Mahesh Kumar, deducted the due amount. As a result, nothing was payable to Kumar towards dividend. Mahesh Kumar threatened to take actions against the company. Can the company actually set off the money? Yes. So let's go to the question whether Waste Paper Limited, who suffered losses, can make payment of dividend to the shareholders. Yes, they can pay dividend out of what? Out of the reserves. Correct or not? They can pay out of the reserve, subject to the fulfillment of all the three conditions. Romesh, son of the deceased, made a complaint that even after declaration of dividend, the company has not posted the dividend warrant at the address given in the transmission form, they were having a fight as to the right to receive dividend. And when they have a fight right to the right to receive dividend, company is not responsible for non-payment. So company is not liable. Company is not liable to pay dividend to a deceased person. No. Not liable to pay dividend to the legal heirs of the deceased person. No. Company should deposit the dividend in the court whether no. Company is not liable when there is a dispute. Yes. In the given case, the amount due to be recovered from Mahesh Kumar was deducted by the company and nothing was now payable to him on account of dividend. Is the action of the company right? Yes. The company can adjust any sum due to it from the shareholders. No payment of dividend is a Sept. No. Yes, Mukesh Kumar can take an action. No. Company should take into confidence and consent of. Oh my God. It's C. The amount accumulated in the Investors Education and Protection Fund shall not be used for refunds in respect of unclaimed dividend, mature deposits, mature debentures, reimbursement of legal expenses, grants or donation to the. You don't give to the central government, you get from the central government. Dividend once declared should be paid within how many days? Within 30 days, right? Oh, this we have already done. This we have already done. Super Fabrics Limited is a listed company. It finalized its accounts for the year ended on 31st March. The audit committee recommended it and subsequently the board approved the same. Annual general meeting of the board shareholders was convened on 25th August, in which the annual accounts of the company were presented before the shareholders. Shareholders approved a dividend at the rate of 10%. A report of the board of directors was attached with the annual accounts of the company. During the meeting, a shareholder pointed out that during the year of 22-23, there was a big news in the media and newspaper that a fraud has happened in the company of an amount of 75 lakh with the involvement of senior management official of the company who is absconding since the news came into media. However, there was no mention about the fraud in the audit report, as well as no comment in the board's report. The auditor, who was also present in the general meeting of the shareholders, informed that fraud was detected during the course of audit, but no further action was taken. Going by the facts of the case, by what date should the amount be deposited in a separate bank account? They have declared it on the 25th of August, 5 days, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, by 30th of August. By what date should the dividend declared in the meeting be paid to the members? Within 30 days. So 30 days will be 24th of September, correct? With regards to preservation of books of super, the books of accounts for the financial year needs to be kept in good order until at least which of the following years? You have to maintain it till eight financial years, no? 22, 23. 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, 30. I have missed out 1 year. Yeah, it will be 30, 31. I missed out 1 year. So 20 to 23, no? 22, 23. So it's 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26, 26, 27, 27, 28, 28, 29, 29, 30, 30, 31. So this is 8 years. So till the year 30, 31. The auditor has noticed that a fraud was committed by the senior management, which is the correct statement in this respect. The auditor shall report the matter to the central government immediately. It is not necessary to disclose the. No, you have to disclose it in the board's report. The auditor shall report the matter to the audit committee constituted. Only when the fraud is 1 crore or more, you go to the central government. Otherwise, you have to report it to the audit committee. Chalo. Now we are done with the MCQs. Moving on to the next part. The director of Happy Limited proposed a dividend at the rate of 12%. The same was approved in the general meeting of the company. The directors declared the approved dividend. Analyzing the provisions of the Companies Act, give your opinion on the following matters. Mr. A, oh, just a second. Analyze the following matter. Mr. A, holding equity shares of face value of 10 lakh, has not paid an amount of 1 lakh towards call money on shares. Can the same be adjusted? Yes, absolutely. The same can be adjusted. Mr. N was the holder of 1000 equity shares, but she has transferred the shares to Mr. R, whose name has been registered on 20th May. Who will be entitled? So on which day you have, on 20th September you have declared, no, 20th May. So who will be entitled? Mr. R will be entitled, correct or not? So let's move to the next question. Karan was holding 5,000 equity shares of 100 each of Mrs. Future Limited. A final call of 10 per share was not paid by Karan. So basically, how much was Karan liable to pay? The Karan's total value of the shares was how much? 5 lakh. Total value of the shares is how much? 5 lakh, and he has not paid rupees 10. That means he has not paid 50,000. Company declared a dividend of 10%. That means how much dividend he will get? 50,000. Examine the amount of dividend Karan should receive. Can I adjust this against this? Yes. So he will receive nothing. Correct? Chalo, moving on to the next question. A company has accumulated free reserves of 75 lakhs during the last 5 years. It has not declared any dividend during these years. Now the company proposes to appropriate a part of this amount for making payment of dividend for the current year in which it has earned a profit of 12 lakh. The board proposes a payment of dividend of 30 lakhs, that is 30% on the paid up. That means my paid up capital is how much? 1 crore. So examine whether the company's proposal is valid. Now see, we have three conditions. First is rate. But since the company has not declared in the previous years, this is not applicable. Second is what? Second is it should not be more than 10% of paid up capital and free reserves, right? So when I say paid up capital and free reserves, what is that? 1.75 lakh, 1 crore 75 lakh. So it is equal to 17 lakh 50,000, right? 17 lakh 50,000. Then third is, but you are declaring a dividend of 30 lakh. So can you actually pay a dividend of 30 lakh? No. The maximum dividend is how much? 17 lakh 50,000. The third case, the balance in your reserves should not fall below 15% of paid up capital. Paid up capital is 1 crore. What is the 15% of 1 crore? 15 lakh. Now, if you withdraw from 75 lakh, if you withdraw 1.75 lakh, it is obviously more than 15 lakh. So everything is fulfilled, but you cannot declare dividend at the rate of 30 lakh. The maximum dividend you can declare is 17 lakh 50,000, which is 17.5%, right? Moving on to the next question. RST Limited declared a dividend at the rate of 20% for the financial year in the AGM scheduled on 15th June. As RST Limited is left with certain unpaid and unclaimed dividend, it transferred the amount to unpaid dividend account. After remaining unpaid and unclaimed for more than 2 years, some of the entitled shareholders made liable RST for non-compliance of Section 124 and claimed for their unpaid dividend amount. RST Limited denies, saying that there were certain legal issues on the entitlement of the dividend amount of the respective shareholders. State whether the allegations marked by the shareholders and the claim for dividend amount against RST is justifiable. So they have some unclaimed amount, so they transferred it to unpaid dividend account. And after remaining it, so it was remaining unpaid for more than 2 years. Then people claim. So basically, what happens is within 7 days from the end of the 30 days, we should transfer this money in the unpaid dividend account. And within 90 days of transfer, we should make a statement. If we don't, this is the punishment for the company. So in this case, what the company has done is that the shareholder did not receive their money. So they made a claim. So the shareholders can claim the money. And if the company is at fault, the company shall be punishable with whatever we have seen. The punishment. What is the punishment? It is shall not be less than 5 lakh but can go up to 25 lakh. And every officer 1 lakh to 5 lakh, 1 lakh to 5 lakh and 5 lakh to 25 lakh for the company. Sunlight Limited was incorporated on 22nd Jan 2019 with the object of providing software services. The company adopted its first financial year as from 22nd Jan to 31st March 2020. The financial statement for the said period after providing for depreciation in accordance with Schedule 2 revealed net profit. The Board of Directors declared 20% interim dividend at their meeting held on 7 July before holding its AGM. In the light, whether the company has complied with the due diligence in declaring, yes. Can they declare? Yes, they can declare. Whether the company can declare dividend in case it was registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act? No. If the company is registered under Section 8, it cannot declare whether interim or final dividend. What are the penal consequences in case of failure to pay dividend? In case of failure to pay dividend, officers up to 2 years plus 1,000 for every day and company simple interest at the rate of 18%. While YZ Limited is a manufacturing company and proposed a dividend at the rate of 10% for the year 17-18 out of the current profit. The company has earned a profit of 910 crores, but it does not intend to transfer any amount to the general reserves. There is no mandatory rule that you have to transfer money to the reserve. The company may, without transferring any money, also declare it, and it's absolutely okay. AB Limited is a public company having its registered office in Coimbatore. The company has incurred a net loss of 20 lakhs in the financial year. The Board of Directors want to declare dividend for the financial year 2019-20. The balances of the company as per the latest audited financial statement are as follows. The company has the they have incurred a loss. Okay. The company has not declared any dividend in the preceding financial year. Decide whether ABC Limited is allowed to declare dividend or not for this year. If allowed to declare, what is the maximum amount of dividend that can be paid by AB Limited? First of all, they have suffered loss in the current year, but can they declare dividend? Yes, they can declare dividend out of reserves. What is the maximum amount of dividend that they can declare? Now, the balances of the company is this. The company has not declared any dividend in this. So, there are 3 points. So, first, rate of dividend is gone because company did not declare any dividend in the past 3 years. Gone. Second, the amount withdrawn should not be more than what? 1/10 of the paid up capital and free reserves, right? Do I take DRR? No, that's not free reserves. So it should not be more than 250 lakh. That means what? 25 lakh. That is how much? 25. Now, if you withdraw, the balance in reserve should be at least 15% of paid up capital. What is paid up capital? 100 lakhs. 15% is what? 15 lakh. If you withdraw 25 lakh, general reserve is 150 lakh less 25 lakh, which remains 125 lakh, 15 lakh, 125. You declare, yes. So the maximum dividend that the company can declare is how much? 25 lakh. But here, there is a problem. The company has a loss of 20 lakhs. And when you withdraw the money, you must first set off the loss. So from the 25 lakh, I will deduct the 20 lakh. So how much am I left with? 5 lakh. So what is the maximum dividend? 5 lakh. Hope clear. Vishal Limited has paid dividend consistently every year at the rate of 10% on its equity share capital in the last 5 years. The company has incurred loss in the current financial year. It still wants to declare dividend, where the company can do so. Yes, but the rate of dividend cannot be more than 10%. And obviously, all the other points have to be taken care of. The amount drawn, we don't have any amount, so we cannot calculate. But the amount drawn should not be more than 1/10 of the paid up capital and free reserves. The balance remaining in reserve should be 15%. PET Limited incurred loss in business up to current quarter of financial year. The company has declared dividend at the rate of 12, 15, and 18% in the 3 years. Despite the loss, the board of directors have decided to declare interim dividend at the rate of 15% for the current year. Examine whether they can. So if you have suffered loss up to the quarter preceding the year in which you declare dividend, the rate of dividend not exceed the rate of the past 3 years. What is the past 3 years? 45. That means 15. So can the company declare dividend at the rate of 15%? Yes. Mr. R, holder of 1,000 equity shares of 10 each of Women Limited, approached the company in the last week of September with a claim for payment of dividend of 2,000 declared at the rate of 20% by the company at its AGM, held on 31/8/2014. With respect to the financial year, the company refused to accept the request of R and informed him that his shares on which dividend has not been claimed till date have been transferred to investors' education. What is the remedy? If available, for he can go and make an application to the Investors Education and Protection Fund, prove that the shares belong to him. Once he does that, he will get the shares back. So I don't know, there is something missing, I think, because they have given two questions, but two answers, but questions are two. So he can reclaim the money, right? And can also claim the unpaid dividend amount. He can also claim the unpaid dividend amount. ABC Limited has declared dividend of 2 rupees per equity share in the general meeting. Mr. Suresh is holding 5,000 equity shares of 10 face value each, on which 10,000 towards call money is due. Whether the call money can be adjusted. Yes, absolutely, you can adjust the call money. Now, what is his dividend payable? 5,000 equity shares, a dividend of rupees 2. So he will get 10,000 dividend. Correct? And how much is the amount due that he has not paid? 10,000. So he will not get any dividend. This 10,000 will be adjusted against this 10,000. Correct? PQ Limited declared and paid 10% dividend to all its shareholders except Mr. Kumar holding 500 equity shares, who instructed the company to deposit the amount directly in his bank account. The company accordingly remitted the dividend, but the bank returned the payment on the ground that the account number doesn't tally. The company, however, did not inform Mr. Kumar. Can I say it is the company's fault? Yes. If the company would have informed, would it be company's fault? No. So, comment on this issue is the can we say the company will be liable? Yes. So, company will pay interest at the rate of 18% and officers of the company whatever. So, yes, company shall be liable to Kumar for non-payment. MNP Limited has a paid up share capital of 10 crores and free reserves of 50 crores. The company made a loss of 40 lakhs after providing for depreciation, and as a result, the company was not in a position to declare dividend. However, the board of directors announced the declaration of 20% on the equity shares payable out of free reserves. The average dividend declared by the company in the last 3 years is 25%. Referring to the provisions, examine the validity of the declaration. Again, calculation rate was 25%. Average would be 25%. They have declared at 20%. Can they do that? Yes. Second, amount drawn should not be more than 1/10 of the paid up capital and free reserve, which is how much? 10 crores and 50, 60 crores. That means 6 crores, the maximum, right? And the balance, okay, and balance the third point. They have not shown the calculation. They have shown. Well, then the balance will always be there. Here it's very obvious. Should not fall below 15% of 10 crore, which is equal to 1.5 crore. 50 crore is there minus 60 lakh. How much is left? 49.40. Right? So obviously, is my minimum balance maintained? Yes. Now, out of this 60 crore that I can pay, sorry, oh my God, what did I do? I'm so sorry. What my 6 crore is my dividend that I can pay maximum. So how much is left? 44 crores is left. Minimum I want 1.5 crore done. Of this 6 crores, I will first set off the loss of 40 lakhs. So I can use 5.6 crores to pay the dividend. Right? The declaration of dividend is absolutely valid. Can the company declare this dividend? Yes, the dividend declaration is absolutely valid. Wait, they wanted to declare 20% dividend. So if I want to declare 20% dividend, how will I have to take? 20% of 10 crores will be how much? 2 crores. So I will withdraw 2 crores. I can give up to 0.6 crores. So is it valid? Yes. So I repeat again, we are declaring dividend at the rate of 20% on 10 crore. So how much is the dividend? It is how much? 2 crores. I want to withdraw 2 crores for dividend. And how much can I withdraw? 5.6. So is it valid? Yes, it's valid. The board of directors of Anand Limited proposes to declare dividend at the rate of 20% to the equity shareholders, despite the fact that the company has defaulted in the repayment. They cannot do. If you have defaulted under Section 73 and 74, you cannot declare dividend on equity shares. Whether a company can declare dividend for the financial year in which it has incurred losses. Yes, it can declare out of the this answer. There is some wrong answer is here. This answer is wrong in the scanner. This is the wrong answer. Anyway, I've told you what the answer is. Mr. R, holder of 1,000 equity shares of 10 each of AB Limited, approached the company in the last week of September with a claim for payment of dividend of 2,000 declared at the rate of 20% by the company, held on 31/8/2011. The company refused to accept the request of R and informed him that his shares on which dividend has not been claimed till date have also been transferred to the investors' education and protection. We've already discussed this question. Can he claim his money back? Yes, he can claim his money back. The same question we discussed. ASR Limited declared dividend at its annual general meeting held on 31/12/20. The dividend warrant to Mr. A shareholder, was posted on 22nd Jan. Due to postal delay, Mr. A received the warrant on 5th Feb and encashed it subsequently. A initiates actions against the company for failure to distribute the dividend within 30 days of declaration. Will it be liable? No, they have already dispatched 31/12. So 31/12 means it should be by 30th, it should be done by 30th Jan. They did it on 22nd Jan and it was the fault of postal delay. So it is any reason other than the fault of the company. So this is not the fault of the company. So can he initiate actions against the company? No. The directors of Lion Limited proposed a dividend at the rate of 12% on the equity shares for the financial year. The same was approved in the annual general meeting of the company held on 20th September. Mr. A, holding equity shares of, has not paid an amount of 1 lakh towards call money. Can the same be adjusted? Yes. If a person has not paid the call money, his dividend can be adjusted against the call money. The annual general meeting of ABC Bakers Limited held on 30th May declared a dividend at the rate of 30% payable on its equity share capital as recommended by the board of directors. However, the company was unable to pose a dividend warrant to Mr. Ranjan up to 25th July 22. Mr. Ranjan filed a suit against the company for the payment of dividend along with rate of, so they should have done it within 30 days. 30th May means what? It should have been done by 29th June. But they did not do it. They did it on 25th July. Is it the fault of the company? Yes. Mr. Ranjan claims a dividend along with interest at the rate of 20%. The interest payable is only 18%, so he cannot claim claim the interest at the rate of 20%. So maximum he can claim is 18%. The board of directors of Zenex Fashions Limited at its meeting recommended a dividend on its paid up equity share capital, which was later on approved by the shareholders at the AGM. Thereafter, the directors at another meeting of the board passed the board resolution for diverting the total dividend to be paid to the shareholders for purchase of certain short-term investments in the name of the company. As a result, dividend was paid to the shareholders after 45 days. What will be the consequences? We've already discussed. Up to 2 years and 1,000 plus 18% interest by the company. The annual general meeting declared a dividend at the rate of 30%. However, the company was unable. Oh, so the same thing we have done. Till 25th July, we did the same thing. Okay. The dividend amount received or receivable on equity shares held by Mr. Weber for the financial year. So Mr. Weber held these shares. Okay. Dividend was declared on the date 25/8/2022. Dividend amount was 800. Dividend was paid on 23/10/22. 25/8. So it should be paid by 24, 25, 9, whatever. It was paid. So can we say delay? Yes. Again, dividend was not paid within the stipulated time period. What could be the punishment of the companies with respect? We already know. Right? We already know what it is required to pay. It is required to pay 2 years plus 1,000 plus interest at the rate of, company will pay interest at the rate of 18%. He holds 100 cumulative preference shares of face value in aggregate on dividend payable. However, during financial year 21/22, they did not earn any profits. So we are talking about 21/22. So whether he is required to pay dividend on cumulative preference shares for the financial year? Yes. And if they don't pay, then in the next year, they will pay for the previous year as well as the next year. That means if they don't pay in 21/22, their dividend will be carried forward to the next year and the dividend will be paid for this year and next year in the next year. Mr. Amrish, holder of 1,000 equity shares of 10 each of AB Limited, approached the company in the last week of September with a claim for the payment of dividend of 2,000 declared at the rate. We have done this. We've already done this. Not wasting my time. We've already done this. This 3 times we have done this question. Smart Limited declared dividend at its AGM. The dividend warrant was posted on due to postal. We have already done this also. Kiara, holder of 5,000 equity shares, dividend we have done this also. Mars Limited declared and paid dividend in time to all the equity shareholders. Mrs. Sheetal, holding 250 shares, had mandated the company to directly deposit the amount in her bank. The company accordingly, but the bank returned the payment on the ground that there was difference in surname of the payee in the bank records. The company, however, did not inform Mr. Sheetal. Can I say because the company did not inform, the company is liable? Correct? Dividend amount of 50,000 was not paid to Mr. Piyush in view of the court order restraining the payment due to family dispute about succession. So this is because of operation of law. The amount was not paid. So is the company liable? Company is not liable. With this, we are done. I hope you are studying, and in the next video, I'll see you again with a new chapter and new question answers. Till then, happy learning and stay motivated. Bye bye.